Hey guys, it's Rebecca with Colorworks Group, and I'm posting another vlog today. I've been covering a series on back to school and how we all handle it differently. Adults, children, and it's all based on our color type. And so my previous ones have been over the adult, and then I covered the gold and the orange children. And now today I'm going to talk about blue kids and why they handle back to school the unique way that blues do. So when I talked about the adults, when I talked about the blues and back to school, I talked about how a lot of times adults, blue parents are feeling pretty emotional at back to school time. They see it as a great thing for their kids and they're excited for them, but at the same time, they don't get to see their children as much. School keeps our kids very busy, and then the after school opportunities, whether it be sports or clubs, take up even more time, and the blue parent loves that for their children, but misses them when they're away. Well, guess what? The blue kiddos are the same. So when you talk to most blue kids, they're going to have some pretty mixed feelings about starting back to school. Yeah, they're super excited because school offers some unique social opportunities like nothing else, and blues are all about relationships and making connections and communicating with other people. So in general, they're pretty excited about heading back to school. But they will also say things like, but I'm really going to miss being at home with my mom. I'm going to miss my sister who's headed off to college. I'm going to really miss getting to travel to see my grandma. They might talk about the time they've spent with friends over the summer. Blues make connections with everything. They might even bring the dog, their hamster, their favorite toy into the mix when they're talking about what they're going to miss when they go back to school. So, because they're all about connections. They're also creatures of comfort, and nothing offers comfort like your own home. So they might talk about missing their bed during the day or being able to just sit and chill out in the living room. So blues will bring up those kind of things when they're talking about going back to school. So you'll hear a lot of positive, but you'll hear a little bit of, but I'm also going to miss, and they'll fill in some blanks there. So that's pretty average for blues from 4 years old all the way up to headed off to school, headed off to college. So they're excited, but they're also going to miss the things that make them comfortable, the things they have connections with, friends, family, and their stuff. So that's what our blues are looking like as they head back to school, our blue kids. How are they going to be stressed? How are they going to display their stress? How will you know when they're stressed? So when you're looking for stress in a blue in early August or when they're headed back to school, what I want you to be looking for is in younger children, them to be clingy, whiny, and maybe crying more often than normal, especially in the evening right before bed. In our older blues, you're going to be looking for dramatic outbursts that seem to not be connected to anything that's going on, whether it be yelling, slamming doors, stomping a feet, or dissolving into tears for no apparent reason. And then also being overly emotional about things that just don't warrant the emotion they've just put into it. So that's what you want to be looking for in your blues, to know if they're suffering from a little bit of back to school stress. So that's the problem. The antidote is giving them some counselor talk. So counselor talk is one of the 4 skill talks we teach at Colorworks, and it's the skill talk that's all about opening up lines of communication. So it is the natural skill talk for blues. They enjoy it, they receive it, they use it the most. So using that counselor talk will help them to open up and be able to let out of their mind whatever's stressing them, whatever fear, anxiety they're having about headed back to school. And in general, what you're going to hear is anxieties having to do with friendships. Or will their teacher like them? Maybe they just found out that several of their friends all made it into the same homeroom and one person didn't, and they're worrying for that one person. They might know that their little brother or sister is going to be the only one at home this year. Everyone else is school age. They might worry about, are they going to be lonely? You'll hear their stress and their anxiety be threaded in with connections to other people. So when we're doing our counselor talk, it's going to be mostly reflective listening, just letting them vent and get those emotions out and talk about how they feel about their connections to people and what's going on with other people. The other thing I like to tell parents to do is couple that up with some coach talk. So whenever we're doing counselor talk, especially with tweens and teens, we want to follow it up with coach talk, because at the end of counselor talk, after they've told you what their anxiety is or what they're worried about or who they're worried about, most specifically when we're talking about blue, it's a who they're worried about, We want them to solve their problem and to try to figure out a way to get through it. With blues, it's really important to coach them on how to make good choices with relationships, how to pick good friends, how to advocate for people that need help being advocated for. So with our blues, you're going to spend that time in counselor talk listening to them and letting them unload some of that emotional weight. But then you're going to follow it up with some coach talk and remind them that, you know, classrooms are assigned and there's nothing we can do about it except support that one friend who didn't get into the homeroom with everyone else, and maybe help her make friends with other people in her homeroom. Or it might be you've just had your teen blue have a dramatic breakdown and they open up to you that they signed themselves up for a lot of really hard classes this year and they're just not sure that they can make it. They're worried that they're going to fail a class and disappoint you, or disappoint you know, their older siblings, or disappoint themselves. And so letting them say those things, then coaching them on, like, you know what you're doing. You are intelligent. You can make it through this. Coaching them on the expectations of, you know what they can do, or just coaching them on the expectation of, you know, you can go talk to your counselor and drop some of those classes if that's what you feel like you need to do. So as we talk to our blues about their stress, it's more about how to balance relationships, whether it be with you guys as a family, with their teachers, or with themselves and their own expectations about who they are as a person. So that's a little bit of information about our blues, where they might be stressed headed into this time of the year, and the skill talks that would be best to use with them to help them through this time of stress. So I hope this was helpful. If you need more information about Coach Talk, Counselor Talk, Is My Child a Blue, Am I a Blue? You can click on the link below, and you can always visit our website at colorworksgroup.com to get all the information you need. I hope you have a great start to your year, and blues, it's all right. It's all going to be okay.